Most people don't understand that artificial intelligence is already everywhere. They predict the weather, they can control search engines, and they're even used in prosthetics. AI has already taken over the world and controls much of the things that we do. Recently, however, labs have been trying to take it one step further by making AI more human-like. They're being programmed to act like us, talk like us, mimic our tasks, and this has raised many concerns on what AI would mean for our society and humanity. Even Stephen Hawking said, "The rise of powerful AI will either be the best or the worst thing ever to happen to humanity." But before we get into all that, let's start from an unconventional starting point. Let's talk about ducks. Almost everyone knows what a duck is, right? But what makes a duck a duck? Is it the webbed feet and beak? Is it just a quacking noise? The traditional duck test, which most people probably have heard of, just gives the reasoning that if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And now we can talk about humans and compare them to AI moreover. The same type of reasoning applies. If AI can mimic humans indistinguishably, then they'll be treated and distinguished as such. Now this reasoning tends to make most people mad, just because it doesn't fit right with them. They argue, we can't be the same as machines, we're conscious, they're not. But what even is consciousness? Nobody knows. Scientists and philosophers have some partial explanations, but none of them can explain for the whole phenomenon. And now a growing number of people believe that such a concept can't even be defined. Similar to how we don't know what makes a duck, we don't know what makes a human. And the closest thing we can come to it is to study behavior. And most of us do this without even thinking about it. When a boxer gets knocked out, we say he's unconscious. You make the assumption that your best friend is conscious and not a pre-programmed machine because his or her behavior is so complicated and so intricate that it has to stem from consciousness. Similarly, AI does not need to be conscious to be human. We wouldn't even be able to tell. It just needs to mimic consciousness well enough for us to treat it as a human. And if that really does happen, society and humanity as we know might come to an end. Right off the bat, we can expect higher rates of unemployment and wealth inequality, as jobs are won by AI rather than humans. But in this case, it's not just one job or not even one field. It's all of the jobs that we know. Even the jobs that require the so-called human touch is being taken over. AI has started to make healthcare decisions, serve as TAs, without the students even realizing that it was a TA. I mean, from a personal scale, what does it mean for us to have a copycat that acts and talks like us, but also do everything better than us? I mean, what happens to all things that copies are made of? When we print more money, the value of each bill gets degraded. Similarly, the value of human life is reduced when there's a copy of it, especially if it's an accessible and better copy. Why worry about human inventions and discoveries when AI can solve unsolved problems? Or even rediscover the theory of relativity in the time it took Einstein to blink? That's why we need to be concerned. An AI-focused, data-centric world is not designed to preserve or protect humanity, mostly due to its inherent flaws. I mean, as Stephen Hawking indicated, AI could do marvelous things to help society. It could help cure pandemics, come up with potential solutions to world poverty or global warming. However, on a fundamental basis, the two clashing ideologies of AI versus human, perfection versus flaws, intelligence versus consciousness, could downright destroy our sense of humanity and society.